Hi, I'm Meg Bunka with My EF Coach, and I'm an executive function coach in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today, I want to talk to you about brain training and the fact that ADHD is not exactly an attention deficit, but more of an attention regulation struggle. So, first of all, regulation struggle. What does that mean exactly? Well, while I might have a job in front of me that I want to get done, my brain is wandering over to something that's a whole lot more exciting. The reality is that the ADHD brain craves stimulation and will do anything to get it. And so what we want to do is learn how to train our brains to be able to handle more and more aspects or pieces of boredom, and also be able to stretch that attention span for things that are less stimulating and teach ourselves to do things that are less stimulating and then reward ourselves with an additional or increased stimulation. So what that looks like. I might be folding my laundry and trying to get that done when all of a sudden I think, I'm bored. I'm going to listen to music while I fold my laundry. So I grab my phone, and as I start to open my music app, I notice that I have some text messages. So I sit down on the bed and start texting people. And while I am texting, I then get a notification that says the library book that I had ordered and placed on hold is now available and at the library. So I grab my car keys and I immediately head out to the library. So I've now completely forgotten that I was folding laundry, and I won't notice again until I try to go to bed tonight and all of that laundry is heaped on my bed and only 3 items are folded. So I got 3 items in before my attention could not maintain on something that was not pleasurable or not stimulating. So the reality is that we need to learn how to increase that time, but we also need to learn how to pair things together so that I get to do something that's not stimulating or not preferred. I call it an NPT for not preferred task. And then I follow it up immediately with a preferred task so that it's a reward for my system. If you think about training, when you're training a pet or your beloved dog how to do a new trick, you don't give them a reward until they do the thing you're asking them to do. Unfortunately, with ADHD, we tend to reward ourselves constantly, even when we don't do any of the things that we're trying to get ourselves to do. So an example of this would be, I was trying to fold my laundry. That was the task I told myself I needed to do. But then I immediately gave up on it and rewarded myself with something that was more pleasurable, i.e. texting my friends and then going and leaving the house to be more stimulated by getting the book I was really excited about. In reality, I shouldn't have allowed myself to do either of those more preferred tasks until I had completed the non-preferred task. So how this works with brain training is that you create a rhythm of doing a non-preferred thing and then a preferred thing and then a non-preferred thing and then a preferred thing. And you try to get as consistent as possible with maintaining that rhythm. As long as you maintain the rhythm, it doesn't matter if you complete tasks before you transfer, as long as that you complete the amount of the task that you set out to accomplish. For instance, with laundry, I might say I have to complete the entire task before I transfer to a preferred task, because folding laundry might take me maybe 10 minutes. However, if I was trying to plan an entire presentation for work and it's a non-preferred task because I don't enjoy planning it. I do enjoy giving the presentation, but the planning is more tedious and it's definitely not stimulating for me. What I might tell myself is that I have to work on the presentation for 20 minutes, or if that's too long, I might even say 15 minutes. And so I'll set a timer, which by the way, I definitely recommend that anyone with ADHD has a visual timer where you can actually see a color-coded chunk of your time. And after I set that timer, I will then only work on that task until the timer goes off. During the time that the timer is running, I do nothing else. I don't go to the bathroom. I don't get a drink of water or a snack. I don't even let myself turn on music on my phone because, as you noticed in my first example, turning on music or even looking at your phone is a disaster waiting to happen because there are so many other distractions and things that you could do on your phone that are not the task you set out to do. So I have my 20-minute session. I work and I complete that 20 minutes, and now I've given myself the opportunity to do a preferred task. So once I've done my preferred task, which if it's a preferred task that I know I could get lost in, I again want to use my trusty timer so that I can limit myself to a certain amount of preferred time. You don't have to match the time for your non-preferred and preferred task necessarily, but it's something to play around with to see how well you are able to complete non-preferred tasks and have preferred things afterwards without getting lost in the preferred. Again, we're trying to grow our ability to regulate our attention. And so that happens through small segments and helping ourselves do more and more of those things that are hard because they don't have the same amount of stimulation. So see if you can create more rhythm in your life and more brain training by forcing yourself to do your non-preferred tasks before each preferred task. And remember, don't just think that you're going to add a little bit of stimulation in and get off task, because most likely the task will get lost entirely. Best of luck in your brain training. If this video was helpful or you found anything that you're going to use, please click the thumbs up button and share it with someone else who might benefit from learning more about brain training. If you're interested in getting more information like this or want more future videos about how to help manage your ADHD or get your brain better trained, please subscribe to our channel.